In the Western media, we often see reports that Chinese infrastructure projects are useless garbage and debt traps. But in fact, through the Belt and Road Initiative, China has helped many friendly countries improve their infrastructure such as railways, roads, and bridges, and this help is crucial to many countries. However, under the influence of political factors, some countries have to give up some cooperation with China again, and Bangladesh in South Asia is one of them. In order to cope with frequent floods and dry season disasters, Bangladesh once proposed to build a large water conservancy facility on the Sta River with an estimated cost of $1 billion. As a global leader in infrastructure development, China immediately expressed its willingness to cooperate with Bangladesh and offered to provide technical support. However, after years of discussion and negotiation, Bangladesh finally decided to give up cooperation with China and signed a cooperation agreement with Indian companies. In the future, Indian companies will be responsible for the construction of this water conservancy project, and construction is scheduled to start in 2025. So, why did Bangladesh suddenly give up cooperation with China? What is the inside story behind this? If you like our video content, please click to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can receive all our latest video content. Now, let's get into today's topic. Bangladesh is a country located in the northeast of the South Asian subcontinent. It borders India to the west, north, and east, Myanmar to the southeast, and the vast Bay of Bengal to the south. With a population of over 160 million, this country is one of the most densely populated countries in the world and is also an underdeveloped region. The economy here depends heavily on agriculture, especially rice cultivation. According to statistics, more than 50% of the labor force in Bangladesh is engaged in rice cultivation-related work, and the rice cultivation area accounts for about 78% of the country's arable land. This large-scale rice production makes Bangladesh the fourth largest rice producer in the world. In Bangladesh's economic structure, the proportion of agriculture has reached about 20% of the total GDP. But since 2016, Bangladesh has gradually become one of the most disaster-stricken areas in the world. The frequent natural disasters here, including floods, unstable monsoons, and droughts, have had a huge impact on local agricultural production, especially on rice cultivation. Among them, the impact of drought is the most severe. Data shows that Bangladesh's rainfall has decreased by 66%, and summer high-temperature records have been repeatedly broken, with temperatures in some areas even breaking the 50-degree mark. This extreme weather has exposed 68% of the country's land area and 71% of the population to the threat of drought, making agricultural production almost collapse. In addition to droughts, some areas of Bangladesh are often hit by floods. The main reason for Bangladesh's frequent floods is its unique geographical location. As a delta country, there are 230 rivers crisscrossing the country, 57 of which are cross-border rivers. During the monsoon, due to Bangladesh's geographical location like the tip of a funnel, a large amount of rainwater converges through these rivers and flows into the ocean, which is very likely to cause floods. Moreover, Bangladesh's plains account for about 85% of the country's total land area, while the southeast and northeast are hilly areas. Most areas are less than 12 meters above sea level. This terrain feature causes the river to flow slowly. Once a flood occurs, the accumulated water is not easy to recede. The alternation of floods and droughts has made the problem of salinization of many lands increasingly serious, resulting in the displacement of hundreds of thousands of people. Faced with these natural disasters, the Bangladeshi government has been hoping to build a super water conservancy facility on the Sta River to alleviate the dual threats of floods and droughts. However, the country does not have good infrastructure technology, so it can only seek technical assistance from other countries. In 2016, the Bangladeshi government officially decided to invest $1 billion to build water conservancy facilities on the Sta River. As a world power in infrastructure construction, Chinese companies responded quickly and expressed their intention to provide assistance. Prior to this, some Chinese companies were also involved in many important infrastructure projects in Bangladesh, including road, bridge, power, and port construction. So when Bangladesh proposed to build water conservancy facilities on the Sta River, China's power construction company quickly joined the project. Subsequently, the two sides also signed a memorandum of understanding to formally launch the project research and development work on the Sta River water conservancy facilities. But in the following years, Bangladesh's attitude has been wavering, and it has not explicitly stated that it will hand over the project to China. They said they needed time to evaluate the respective water conservancy project proposals proposed by India and China in order to choose a plan that is most beneficial and acceptable to the people of Bangladesh. Until 2023, Chinese companies are still publicly expressing their determination to undertake the Sta River Water Conservancy project and have completed a detailed investigation of the river's conditions and even submitted a lower-cost revised proposal to Bangladesh, hoping to get the opportunity to cooperate with Bangladesh to complete this important project. However, unexpectedly, in June 2024, Bangladesh suddenly announced that the project would be undertaken by India. This decision surprised many people. After all, China has invested a lot of energy and resources in the Sta River Water Conservancy project in the past few years. So then, why did Bangladesh suddenly give up cooperation with China? As far as I know, Bangladesh has been committed to improving and strengthening its relations with its neighbor India since its independence. The two sides have maintained a very special political relationship to this day. However, in recent years, Bangladesh's cooperative relationship with China has been deepening, which has made India worried that countries in South Asia may gradually tend to rely on China. At the same time, the relationship between India and China has been in a state of high tension, and the border conflict between the two countries has not been completely resolved so far. This confrontational situation has directly affected India's strategic layout in South Asia. Obviously, India does not want to see China's influence further expand to Bangladesh. If China undertakes the Sta River Water Conservancy project in Bangladesh, then Bangladesh's relationship with China will be further strengthened. For India, this will undoubtedly constitute a strategic disadvantage. Therefore, during the negotiations between China and Bangladesh on the Sta River Water Conservancy project, India has always put pressure on the project and clearly expressed its opposition. In 2024, during the visit of the Prime Minister of Bangladesh to India, Indian Prime Minister Modi personally intervened and promoted the two countries to reach more than a dozen cooperation agreements, including cooperation on the Sta River Water Conservancy project. It is worth noting that in order to undertake the construction of Bangladesh's water conservancy facilities, India not only publicly promised to provide technical support, but also was willing to provide funds to help build the project. Therefore, Bangladesh finally chose to reach a cooperation agreement with India. But when we look at the geographical location of the two countries, we can also find another hidden reason. Bangladesh's territory is almost completely surrounded by India. This geographical and political situation makes Bangladesh heavily dependent on India politically, strategically, and economically. In particular, the long-standing water resource allocation problem between India and Bangladesh is the so-called water politics. The two countries share as many as 54 international rivers, including the important Sta River. The Sta River originates in the Himalayas and flows through India into Bangladesh. Since India is located in the upper reaches of the Sta River, it built two dams, which the official statement said was to reduce potential threats to the country, but this had a serious impact on Bangladesh downstream. In the monsoon season, once India opens the gates to release water, Bangladesh may face flood disasters. On the contrary, if India chooses to close the dams to intercept the flow in the summer, Bangladesh will suffer from drought. Therefore, although China is willing to help Bangladesh build water conservancy projects, it will still cause great interference considering India's control over the upper reaches of the Sta River. On this complex water resource issue, Bangladesh can only carefully find a balance between China and India. Although India has taken away an engineering project that originally belonged to China, this has not fundamentally shaken China's influence in South Asia. In fact, China and Bangladesh have been deepening their communication and cooperation in many fields in recent years. In terms of military, many important military equipment of Bangladesh, such as main battle tanks, air defense missile systems, conventional submarines, and Type 056 frigates, are provided by China. In terms of infrastructure construction, the Padma Bridge project undertaken by Chinese companies is particularly eye-catching. This 7.7-kilometer-long bridge was opened to traffic in June 2022. Since its opening, the Padma Bridge has received a total of 12.33 million vehicles, with toll revenue exceeding 16.3 billion taka, and is expected to bring 1.7% growth to Bangladesh's GDP each year. In addition, China has also participated in a number of important projects in Bangladesh, such as power supply, transportation network, and port construction, which have greatly promoted Bangladesh's economic development. In my opinion, Bangladesh might not have been so hesitant in choosing a partner were it not for the prominent influence of political factors. For India, although it has successfully prevented China's involvement in the Sta River project, this cannot stop China's tendency to expand its influence in South Asia in the long term. In today's context of globalization, I believe that only seeking cooperation and win-win results is the right path to sustainable development. So what do you think? To not miss out on our future projects and news updates, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We will continue to provide you with more exciting and interesting content.